She can drive your car and you can roll, take you where you wanna go. But first off, I'm gonna start by saying this. What's up, my dudes? So we got the new gameplay of the compound on Monster Energy Supercross 2, the official video game. So I wanted to come in here and talk about it. By the way, I apologize for not actually showing gameplay here. Again, we have a super short actual gameplay video, and it'll only take you 2 seconds to go click on it and watch it. I'm not going to sit here and react to one video 35 times over to try to make an actual video out of it. So this is actually the original Monster Energy Supercross game compound right here that I'm riding on, but I'm going to talk about what I saw. So you guys can go click on the real, first gameplay of it if you want to go check that out. But most guys have probably seen it by now, but basically, it reveals certainly a lot more. It's nice to see, a little bit more gameplay than just one lap of Supercross gameplay. It's nice to actually see something more, even though this is only like, another minute's worth of gameplay. So it's still, it is still in that early kind of stage where you don't really know. You're just seeing a little bit of gameplay and you're trying to make all these assumptions. So again, I have to come in here and say, take it with a damn grain of salt, my broskies. Because I don't know, I haven't played the game and I've only seen like 2 minutes of total gameplay just like you guys have seen. So that's all I'm able to base it off of. But certainly the graphics are looking nice in the new game. But I have to come out here and be real with you, okay? There is, and especially seeing this gameplay of the compound gameplay, which I think it's great that they're actually giving you the compound in the base game and not charging you DLC for it later. AKA this shit right here that I'm riding on right now. Thank God they're actually giving you a compound. Oh, hey, they heard me talking about them. Hit that rock out of nowhere, right? Like, thank God you're actually getting it like in the base version, not having to pay extra for it later. So that's nice. It's cool to see the whole cornfield vibe, compound track to it and everything. But I have to be real in the sense of now that I've seen the Eli Tomac gameplay and now that I've seen the compound gameplay, there is something very, very weird about, like, I'm getting this vibe that the Monster Energy Supercross 2 game almost looks more arcadey and like a mobile game than the first one did. I don't know if anybody else is noticing that or seeing that, but just like in the way that the bike kind of moves and some of the little UI stuff that's going on, it really does give you the feeling more like you're playing some sort of super arcade mobile game. I don't know. It's bizarre. You know how MX vs. ATV All Out had some issues with that where it felt more like just this super, like arcadey, do a quadruple backflip, like kind of wild, almost more like a mobile. I don't know any other way to explain it to you other than like it's more like a mobile game. Well, this official Monster Energy Supercross 2 from the compound gameplay, that's what it's starting to look like to me, which is really bizarre. But we got another little look more so at the whips, not really, but kind of sort of. You would have thought maybe they would have, oh, hey, they're on the compound track. Maybe they'll actually throw it over Nasty or something, a little bit of Thug Nasty Fatty or something like that. But they really didn't. The most they did was something like about that right there, right? And maybe that's all you can whip in the game. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I remember in my first gameplay of the Eli Tomac video that I made, I was like, oh, it looks, damn near exactly like MXGP Pro whips. And now that I see it on the compound gameplay, it doesn't look as exact as I thought as the MXGP Pro whips, but it does look similar to that, but just a little bit different, but not different in like a super better way. I can promise you that much. It's not like, oh my gosh, those whips look amazing, or oh my gosh, hell yeah, those air physics are looking nice. It's not really like that. It is very, very similar looking to like some of the stale on the bike feeling physics system to the first game. That kind of feeling to it. So, I don't know. I'm just telling you what it looks like to me, man. With my own two eyes. Some guys, I know you're going to get mad at that, but I'm just a guy out here giving my own opinion. So I'm not saying you have to agree with my opinion. I'm just telling you, this is my opinion, man. And some of you guys love to say I'm too negative. I'm too negative towards these milestone motocross games. And what I have to say to you is like, Do you want me to lie about it? Or do you want me to tell you what I actually think about it? It's like which one do you want? Like, I can lie and be Mr. Positive and act like there's not really any problems with it. Or I can be real and tell you what I'm actually seeing. So it's like, what do you want? You want me to lie to you and not tell you what I actually think? And it's not just me being negative towards it. I'm just telling you how it is, right? It's not just negative to be negative like some of you guys get that idea in your head. It's not like that, dude. I'm just telling you what I think. I mean, if there was truly a milestone Supercross game that I saw early gameplay of, and it was like I was really thinking like, wow, this is looking super impressive. Like, those physics are looking advanced like the actual next game of a series should look. If it looked like that, I would tell you that. You know, you act like I'm like keeping back all of this positivity from you, or you just can't say anything positive about it or whatever. But it's not like that. I'm just telling you exactly what I'm seeing, whether that be positive, negative, neutral, in between, left, right, forward, backwards. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so me being negative about it, it's not me just being negative. It's me being truthful to you from someone that plays all of these games all the time. This is what I do, bro. So, now one little positive thing that I did see in the compound gameplay that was kind of a cool little graphical thing is when they jumped into the cornfield thing with, you know, the taller corn plants. It actually, like, the corn, like, the plants moved to the side when you jumped into them. It looked actually really, really cool. But, I mean, as far as everything else, it's just kind of, I don't know. I'm going to have to get it to really see what it's looking like. But some of you guys that are thinking that's like some kind of next level advancement in bike physics or gameplay, you know, the actual gameplay, like a lot of you guys like to totally forget about, yet, oh my god, it's Monceu Supercross 2, the official video game? Oh god, dude, it doesn't even matter what that gameplay looks like. That game's just amazing, right? A lot of you guys are caught up in that sort of mindset and don't even look at like the actual gameplay improvements. Yeah, it's a new compound, but bro, you got to look at, like, what does that bike actually look like? Does it actually look improved from the first game? Does it really? I want you to go back and look at that gameplay and really tell me, does that actually look better than the way the first game it looks and feels? I mean, hell, you can, like, straight up compare it to the first one, and it really doesn't look all that much different or / better. It really doesn't. I mean, I'd say the whips look kind of worse in this second one so far. They look more arcadey, not really fluent coming off the jump face, just look kind of bizarre, unrealistic, and just the overall look of the bike and everything, it looks like the camera's a little bit more panned out, almost turning into more of that, like I was saying before, that kind of mobile phone. You got that little thing popping up on top of your screen on how good you hit a jump. And by the way, I didn't even realize this when I made my other video, but it does that in the first game too, right? Like, it tells you how far you jump, and it's like showing these drift points and whatnot. But I guess in the first game, the way they have it laid out there, it's nowhere near as noticeable as it's looking in this second game. Like, every time you jump something, this humongous circle thing pops up right above your rider. Like, you jumped this jump this far, you jumped that far, bing, bing, bing. This thing keeps popping up like in a mobile, you know, rhythm game or something like that. And it is in the first game, but it's nowhere near as noticeable. It's nowhere near as, like, in your face, on your screen kind of thing. You know, they're able to have it in the first game, but be so hidden that you can't really notice it all that good. And I think that's how it should be in the second game. But it's not looking like that. So, either way, I mean, graphics, as always, they look pretty good, you know, but, I mean, it's like, what are you paying $60 for? Do you just want graphics in a game? I mean, I'm confused. Like, are graphics really that important to you? Like, graphics are cool and all. I mean, I'm not hating on good graphics. Certainly, you know, can bring you into immersion and stuff like that, but I'm just getting at the whole side of, like, the gameplay, what you're actually doing in it. Like, who gives a shit if you're seeing sparkly rainbowed unicorns if you can't do anything with it? Yeah, I guess that's what I always come back to with some of these milestone motocross games. But either way, I don't know, man. I just don't know. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of big pushes on in-air physics improvements. And that's just is what it is. You can't even question it. Like, you can compare it straight back to the first game, that gameplay we're seeing of it, and it doesn't really look all that much better. If at all better. Damn near looks a little worse, to be completely honest with you. I mean, I'm just being straight up. Like, that new compound gameplay looks a little bit worse, but it does have, you know, like Supercross, motocross, kind of in and amongst the cornfield, kind of like back in that Ryan Dungey, you know, when he did that riding on that, you guys know that video. They got a Dungey in the cornfield, little track on that. So, I don't know, man. It certainly looks different. I mean, it certainly is going to be a little bit of a different game, similar to the first one, but it's not looking to me like that's just better. You know what I mean? It's different in a way of almost looking slightly worse. I mean, that's just the first impression that I'm getting out of it. It just doesn't, it's not looking like they're really, like they have super focused on massive issues with the first one or anything. So I don't know. That's going to be a kicker if the first one ends up being better than the second one, but we'll just have to wait and see. So either way, that's about it for the compound. I mean, it's only a minute long of compound gameplay. I mean, you can't really tell too much from it, you know? I don't know, man. I mean, it's still got that look like you're landing on a pillow no matter how big of a jump you hit. And it's still got that, they went through a little like whoop roller section on the compound track, and it was like you're just gliding over butter, like you weren't even actually riding over anything. They turned in the whoop roller section a little bit and everything. That bike didn't even remotely think about getting out of shape at all. You know, it's just like, come on, Milestone. People, like, your game is too arcadey. I know you try to make your game for everybody. I understand it, right? And when you say make it for everybody, that also means hardcore motocross gaming fans. See, that's what you're totally missing out on that side of it, right? You're making your game for somebody that doesn't really play a whole lot of motocross games. Your whole like scale and spectrum on the who's the game really made for, it is way too tacked out on the side of beginner motocross game player that's never played a motocross game in his life. You know, super arcade. Your game is too much like that. Way too much, man. Way too much. And it's like, I mean, good God, man. It still seems like they've got that system where when you turn in the air, you turn both your thumbsticks the same direction like you whip in every other motocross game. Well, it looks like it still has that weird system where it doesn't really whip. You know what I mean? It'll do kind of like that right there. But to whip, you actually have to turn both your thumbsticks opposite directions. It looks like that's the same way it is in Supercross 2, the official video game. Bad move, Milestone. Really bad move. Doing that right there. It's going to kill a lot of your in-air physics filling system. And there better be an option in there to change that back like every other motocross game. It better be in there. But the ground physics, honestly, like some of the cornering when you get on the gas and the back wheel kind of naturally slides around, it looks similar to MXGP Pro, which in that sense is not a terrible thing. I mean, the ground physics are not really bad in MXGP Pro. In certain occasions, in some occasions they are, but like as far as just the hitting on the throttle and spinning the back end around, kind of steering the bike with the throttle, it doesn't look terrible in this new game, you know, as far as that sense goes, but so I think your ground physics, like on the ground, is not going to be god-awful, which it wasn't god-awful in MXGP Pro or the official Monster Energy Supercross game. It wasn't amazing, I wouldn't say, or anything, but it wasn't awful. But I think it's still, you're still going to get that, like what you expect in a Milestone game, as far as way better ground physics than air physics, right? And very little you can do as far as like big jump hooks, and whipping it backwards and the fun stuff you can do in all these other motocross games. I still don't think you're going to get that in official Monster Energy Supercross 2. Doesn't look like there's any freestyle tricks. You're not going to be throwing backflips and super Jared McNeil whips and crazy scrubs and that whole side of motocross. I still don't think is really going to be prevalent in official Monster Energy Supercross 2. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, what I'm seeing in the gameplay, it doesn't really look like they're improving on some of their massive issues with milestone motocross games. It just looks kind of like what you'd expect. You know what I mean? Not really like improved in any of those categories. But what milestone games do pretty good, which is some of their ground physics, natural slide in the corners and stuff, it looks pretty good. You know, it looks like not too bad, right? It's kind of looking to me like what you expect a milestone game to do well. Graphics, somewhat of ground physics. Looks like they're going to do pretty well in this game, but everything you expect milestone motocross game to do badly, aka in-air physics, whip physics, big jump physics, that whole side of it, doesn't really look like it's going to be any better than it's ever has been in any milestone game. So, I mean, that's just what she looks like to me, boys. So, I don't know. I'm kind of like twisted on this one because I was really hoping they would have improved on that. I was really hoping the first gameplay I seen would have been like, hell yeah. Oh yeah, dude, look at that. Look at that. Look at those in-air physics. At least improved a little bit. But it just doesn't. I mean, I honestly can't even say that the in-air physics looked improved at all. They literally don't. Like, you can jump off a jump and turn, and the bike literally barely moves. Barely moves. I mean, it is just still that stale, stiff, stagnant on the bike look, but it just looks a little more arcadey to me. That's what the second game's starting to look like. Oh, I hope it's not, boys. I mean, to all you guys that think I'm just hating on it and mad at it and trying to, you know, say it's not going to be good or like, you know, just hate on it to hate on it because it's a milestone game. Dude, I want it to be great. Like, I want it to be amazing. I want it to be good, but I cannot sit here and lie to you. You understand what I'm saying? I have to tell you exactly what it looks like to me. And whose opinion are you going to believe? Some random Joe Blow nobody over here that all he's ever played in his life is the first official Monceu Supercross game, and he's out here giving you opinions? Or are you going to believe someone like me that literally does this shit for a living, and I've made this into a business because of how much I love playing motocross games, and I play every single motocross game out there, arcade, I'm a pro at a simulator, so I understand that whole side of games. Played Reflex every day for 4 years. Like, this is what I do literally every single day. Like, whose opinion are you trying to believe here? You see what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like some people, they want to love it so bad that they only love other people that are loving it as well. You get what I'm saying? It's like that weird mentality people get. I don't know. It's bizarre. But I'm real no matter what. I'm going to be real with you, no matter if that's negative, positive, in between, right? If I was like in between on it, I'd be telling you that. If I was like, oh, dude, the air physics do look a little bit better, but not like to what I expect it to be. If that was the case, I would say it like that, but it's not. It literally looks like barely any, if at all, and it maybe even be worse in air physics in this second game versus the first game. So, hell, dudes, I don't know. It's looking not so great to me. I mean, it's just looking like, it's like the easiest way to explain it is this official Monceu Supercross 2. It looks more different than it does better than the first one. You see what I'm saying? It just looks different. It doesn't even really look better. It just looks different in a way. It's similar in a lot of ways, but it just looks slightly different, you know. But I can't even say that it's better, and it might even be worse. You know, that's kind of the road I'm leaning down, is the feeling on the bike might even be worse in this second game than the first one. I mean, that is certainly possible by the way it's looking. So I hope they come out with some more gameplay to change my mind or impress me on something here, because she ain't looking too hot here, boys. For your hardcore motocross gaming fans, it's looking like you're getting the same run-of-the-mill, you know, Monceu Supercross 1.5 for $60. I mean, that's what she's starting to look like. So, either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.